All right, I'm Graz here with the Graz World of Sports Gaming. We are on ASG Golf, and we're going to finish up the inaugural season of the LPGA. We have 4 events, and we're going to get through them, and, it'll just be, we're going to finish it up. We have the Callaway Gardens Open, the U.S. Open, which is their 3rd major, the Texas Open, and then the Hardscrabble Invitational, which is a match play. So here we go. Callaway Gardens Open at Callaway Gardens. We have 5 women: Patty Berg, Betty Jamieson, Louise Suggs, Babe Zacharias, and Beverly Hansen. Let's go. Round 1. All right. Beverly Hansen's in 5th with a 5 over 77. Okay. Babe Zacharias is tied for 3rd with a 2 over 74. She's tied with Patty Berg. And tied for 1st with 1 over 73s, we have Louise Suggs and Betty Jamieson. Okay. Next round. Round 2. Zoop. Played a little bit easier for some of them. In 5th place still at 9 over with a 4 over 76 for the round, Beverly Hansen. Did not play very good that round. In 4th place with 3 over and a 2 over 74 is Betty Jamieson. I'm trying to talk loud so that you can't hear my cat vomiting in the background. It's like they wait for me to start recording to be completely lovely. Okay, Betty Jamieson with a 2 over. Tied for 2nd at 1 unders, we have Louise Suggs, who had a 2 under 70. That'd look a lot better without that double bogey on 8. And Patty Berg with a 3 under 69. Nice little run at the beginning there with 3 birdies. And then in 1st place with 3 under overall and a 5 under 67, Babe Zacharias. Could she win her 6th title of the season? Round 3. Boy, the fortunes change quick here. In 5th place at 10 over with a 1 over 73, we have Beverly Hansen. She's just not having a good time. In 4th place with 4 over and a 1 over 73 for the round, Betty Jamieson. In 3rd with 2 over after a 5 over 77, just in 1st place a minute ago, Babe Zacharias. Had a quadruple bogey on 3, which just took her out of the running pretty much. And tied for 1st at 4 under both with dueling 3 under 69s, Patty Berg with a good round, and Louise Suggs. All right. Here we go. All right, we are going to have a playoff. Interesting. So in 5th place at 14 over total with a 4 over 76 is Beverly Hansen. She just never quite got going. In 4th place with 6 over and a 2 over 74 is Betty Jamieson. In 3rd, finishing under par with a 3 under 69 and 1 under total, Babe Zacharias. A clean round. Interesting. And tied for 1st with 1 over 73s and 3 unders for the tournament, Patty Berg and Louise Suggs. And they will be doing a sudden death playoff. I don't know if we're going to... I'm not sure what the setup is going to be here, so I guess we'll see. Oh, okay. It did it. Patty Berg wins the playoff in 1 hole. So Patty Berg wins the Callaway Gardens Open. I'm just going to move this stuff and there. All right. So far for the, I guess we'll just go by the points for like the FedEx Cup stuff. It does it automatically. Babe Zacharias is still winning, or is winning that. It's really a 3-woman race for that. So now we're going to the major, the U.S. Open. The previous two majors, the title holders championship was won by Patty Berg, and the Western Open was won by Babe Zacharias. So here we go with the U.S. Open at Crinkleton Stocks Club, which I think is something that I created. Oof. Yes, this is a course that I created, and it's probably going to play really hard. Hopefully it doesn't crash the game. Anybody want some cats? I'm playing. It's just they choose these moments to be the loudest. Wow. This is like a war of attrition here at the Crinkleton Stocks Club. Must not have had where they actually played the U.S. Open. Yowza. All right. Well, tied for 8th with 12 over 84s. We have Beverly Hansen, Peggy Kirk, and Alice Bauer. We're going to look at them real quick. No birdies for Alice Bauer. 1 birdie for Peggy Kirk. And 2 for Beverly Hansen. But in 7th place, with an 8 over 80, we have Betty Jamieson with 1 birdie. Tied for 3rd at 7 over 79s, we have 4 women. Betsy Rawls. Okay. Marilyn Smith. Marlene Haggy, who does not get a birdie, but apparently does enough of the other, of the par. And Patty Berg, who also no birdies. In 2nd place at 5 over, with a 5 over 77, is Babe Zacharias, who just has 2 double bogeys in there. And then in 1st place with a 2 over 74 right now is Louise Suggs, who had an eagle. So, okay, round 2. Three majors in the first season. Will we have 3 different winners? Or will Babe or Patty Berg double up? Not seeing a whole lot of green or red here. It's mostly over par. I might have made this course a little hard. That's okay, though. It's a U.S. Open. It should be hard. All right, after round 2, it's almost like I'm playing in the 1890s again with the men. In 10th place, at 22 over, with a 10 over 82, Beverly Hansen. In 9th place, at 19 over, with a 12 over 84, Patty Berg. Finally gets a birdie in there. Tied for 7th with 18 overs, we have Marlene Haggy with an 11 over 83. No birdies yet. And her sister, Alice Bauer, with a 6 over 78 with 2 birdies. Okay. In 6th place at 17 over total with a 5 over 77, we have Peggy Kirk. Nice run of 8 pars to finish off her day. Tied for 3rd at 14 over, we have Marilyn Smith with a 7 over 79. Betsy Rawls with also a 7 over 79, but hers is a little different. 1 triple bogey eliminates all 3 of those birdies. And then Betty Jamieson with a 6 over 78. Oh, this ending run really killed her. In 2nd place at 9 over with a 4 over 76, we have Babe Zacharias. And then in 1st place with 4 over and another 2 over 74, we have Louise Suggs. Okay, Suggs is playing the best golf, but we'll see if that continues over the weekend. Here we go with round 3. Yeesh. Louise Suggs looks like she's falling apart a little bit. Get it together. Babe with a birdie. Uh-oh. It's looking basically like a two-woman show at this point. They're tied. I kind of want Babe Zacharias to win as much as she can because, you know, she starts having cancer in late 1954 through 1955, and then she dies in 1956. So I kind of want her to win as much as she can. All right, round 3 is over, and Beverly Hansen has a 6 over 78 with 2 birdies. I'm just going to rapid fire here. Patty Berg has a 7 over 79. She has 1 birdie through 3 rounds. Oh. Marilyn Smith with an 11 over 83. Somehow gets a birdie and all that. Peggy Kirk has a 7 over 79. Betty Jamieson has a 9 over 81. Alice Bauer with a 5 over 77. Not bad with 4 birdies there. Marlene Hagge, 5 over 77. 1 birdie. And she's in 4th place. In 3rd with a 7 over 79, Betsy Rawls. Okay. In 2nd with a 2 over 74 is Babe Zacharias. And then in 1st place with an 8 over overall and a 4 over 76, a 3-shot lead going into the final round is Louise Suggs. All right, round 4 of the U.S. Open. Can Louise Suggs hold on in this absolute war on the course? Looks like maybe. I don't know. Oh, they're tied. Nope, Babe's got a lead. Late. Tied again. Oh. Babe lets it fall away at the very end. Okay, Betty Jamieson with an 11 over 83 finishes in 10th. Yeah. Beverly Hansen with a 5 over 77 finishes in 9th. In 8th place with a 9 over 81 is Marlene Hagge. Tied for 5th, we have Peggy Kirk with a 7 over 79. Marilyn Smith with a 6 over 78. No birdies that round. Although Marilyn Smith, no, it says 0. Never mind. And Patty Berg with a 5 over 77. 2 birdies. And she was 21 shots out of the lead. In 4th place with the 7 over 79 is Alice Bauer. In 3rd place with a 1 under 71, the low round of the tournament, Betsy Rawls, the only round that ended up under par. In 2nd place with an even par 72, Babe Zacharias, who loses the U.S. Open by 1 shot to Louise Suggs, who shoots a 2 over 74. And was 10 over total. So Louise Suggs wins that. Babe is still in the 1st place for the points lead. Okay. These next 2 are both match play. So let's get that done. Here we go. The Texas Women's Open at the Alotian Golf Club. I'll fill in my thing here, my spreadsheet later. Babe's not playing this. Interesting. Wonder why. All right, Louise Suggs beats Betty Jamieson 3-2. Marlene Hagge beats her sister Alice Bauer 1 up. Beverly Hansen beats Betsy Rawls 1 up, and Peggy Kirk beats Patty Berg 2-1. All right. I know that they have different. I don't know what just happened there. I know they have different last names, but Marlene Hagge got married. She was Marlene Bauer. Okay, Marlene Hagge beats Louise Suggs 1 up, and Peggy Kirk beats Beverly Hansen 4-2. So here we go with the final. Hagge and Peggy Kirk. Peggy Kirk wins 2 up. That's huge for her. All right, and now we're going to the Hardscrabble Women's Invitational Match Play, also at the Alotian Club. Babe is playing this time, and she gets Louise Suggs in the first round. That's fair. Wow. Patty Berg is slaughtering Marlene Hagge. Okay, so Patty Berg beats Marlene Hagge 4-3. Betsy Rawls beats Beverly Hansen 4-3. Alice Bauer beats Marilyn Smith 1 up. And Babe Zacharias beats Louise Suggs 6-5. That's huge. Ooh, upset. Patty Berg beats Betsy Rawls 2 up, but Alice Bauer upsets Babe Zacharias 1 up. So the championship of this is Patty Berg and Alice Bauer. Incredible. Alice Bauer. Can she pull off the ultimate upset? No, Patty Berg wins in 19. So Patty Berg wins. Babe Zacharias is Player of the Year by less than 100 points. And that was the inaugural season of the LPGA. I will see you next time with something else. I've been Graz. This is ASG Golf. And I hope you enjoyed the LPGA. What's interesting is Babe Zacharias came into these last 4 tournaments with 5 titles and didn't win a single thing. Patty Berg won 2. She ends up with 4. Louise Suggs wins 1 and ends up with 4. And then Peggy Kirk wins the odd one. So, all right. See you next time with something else.